My name is Ramón Méndez, and nowadays I'm the General Director of Planning and Resilience of Montevideo government in Uruguay. For Montevideo, being part of 100 resilient cities takes a lot of advantages. First of all is the fact of being part of a huge community, 100 cities all over the world with in different countries, different continents. It's an opportunity to know what is going on in other parts of the world, and which are the initiatives that are being employed in order to have more resilient cities. This is, first of all, the importance of being part of a community. Second, we are receiving very interesting information and analysis that included in the network that 100 Resilient Cities is managing. And last but not least, the fact of having the goal of delivering a resilience strategy is focusing our work for this specific goal, and this is always very crucial for our future. Well, Montevideo has very important challenges today. One of them, perhaps the most important one, is the social difficulties that we have, where we have decreased very deeply poverty. We are now with less than 10% of poor people in our city. But this 10% is not integrated to the rest of the society. Is not having the same. Is not having access to the same facilities and possibilities, and working possibilities and education possibilities the rest of the society do. So this social fracture, is one of the most important challenges. The second, perhaps, has to do with mobility and the fact of having more and more cars, and the fact of having a larger city is also a huge deal. Having to face the effect of climate change, where we have a very important extreme event every year, which are increasing both in frequency and in size of the event, is also one of the important challenges we have to face. Urban resilience is critical for Montevideo because we have to face all the challenges that will come in the future. We have chronic tensions nowadays, and if those chronic tensions are not considered and are not solved in the future, they can transform probably in more big issues and bigger issues, and perhaps will make it difficult in order to continue the kind of life that we have in Montevideo right now. If you compare Uruguay as a whole as Montevideo, in fact, there is only one main difference, which is the fact that Uruguay is an agricultural country, and this is not what happened in Montevideo, because it's mainly a city with just a small rural area near to the city. So in Montevideo, where we have 45% of the Uruguayan population and more than 50% of the national GDP, we have almost the same problems and difficulties and challenges concerning resilience that we have in the rest of the country. In the rest of the country, perhaps the fact of having the pressure on the ecosystem concerning agriculture perhaps is the only point which is different if you compare it to Montevideo challenges, resilience challenges. But the fact that we have to face with social integration, with impact of extreme climate change, extreme events related to climate change and climate variability, and all the other difficulties that we have in Montevideo are present at national level. Well, you know, Montevideo is now trying to think how it could be in 40 or 30 years from now. In 2050, we have launched a program which is called Montevideo del Mañana, Tomorrow's Montevideo, where we are trying to figure out with the private sector, with the workers, with the academy, with the national government, with everybody which is involved in the city, in order to imagine what would it like, and to having agreements on how to reach this future in a better way, trying to have the opportunities and try to avoid the difficulties that we can envisage for the future. And of course, in this building of this future, it has to be the resilience strategy will be embedded in that. It's a transversal value that we will introduce, will embed in the global construction of our next generation future.